International T20 cricket is back in South Africa and it involves the big boys. India arrive on South African shores and the first T20 kicks off later today. Four T20s in total, a bit of a different Indian squad and a bit of a old South African squad with a bunch of players returning. This is sure to be exciting and we are going to give you a preview of sorts. We'll break down the 11s, we'll tell you what we think in terms of predictions. Let's see where this goes. What do we make of it, boys? T20 cricket returning. India, can we do this?
I think we have to believe, especially after the World Cup final. This is a chance at some redemption, some chance to get some confidence back. So let's hope the boys can pull it off. The squads look fairly balanced. Um, India, we know they're missing some gun players. But the one good thing I would say about India's squad is that it hasn't changed much since the Bangladesh series.
Yeah,
And that's the luxury that they can afford to have. And we've spoken about this multiple times. Their depth is something else.
it's
And
incredible.
at least they're giving the players who played in the lesser series against Bangladesh, they're still giving them a run in the team. Whereas our squad is completely different to the squad that played against Ireland. So make of that what you will. But we know the state of South African cricket and Indian cricket, and they're not on the same level. But
Absolutely.
looking at the squads, they it looks like it should be a good series. So I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, I agree with Kuv. Looking at the Indian squad, obviously, is not regular names that we see, but match winners on a day. We've seen them play in the IPL
Mm,
and dominate in the IPL, and all of them are match. I mean, with Surya, captaining the side, we all know he's obviously a match winner on his day. One of the more consistent players within the Indian side as well. And Sanju is there. That's
Yeah, he's
that's a
probably going to
winner.
open again, eh?
yeah, yeah. It looks like
Pardon?
he's going to open with Abhishek. That is most likely
Yeah.
what's going to happen there. Sanju to open with
So
Abhishek Sharma.
so it's gonna, yeah, and then obviously the right hand left hand combination up front will always be a tough one, but it's gonna be a great series. I think that Indian side is definitely very different than what we're expecting, and then the South African side I think is strong, but at the end of the day we know India's depth
Yeah.
is amazing,
Mm.
and regardless of
Yeah.
whether
Whilst
they
whilst we
go for it, go.
whilst we're on Sanju, since Rohit's retired now, do you think that opening spot is still up for grabs, or does Jaiswal or Gill already have it nailed down? If Sanju does well in the series, do you think it's his moving forward, or is it still debatable?
I think that Jaiswal Gill is probably the one they go with for the Champions Trophy when they eventually get to that. I think that is probably sealed. Let's be
Now, but
realistic.
let's go.
Sanju's been given a
Let's
shot.
talk on T20s.
In the T20, I think it's fair game, and I think going by what they've done recently, it looks like they're actually trying to give Sanju a run in the team. Maybe not in the same spot every week as we've complained about in the past, but I think he does definitely have a little bit of a shot for getting in there. Kohli and Rohit have been pretty poor in recent times. They definitely look like they need some change. Maybe is Kohli also retired from T20s? I'm not entirely sure. I know Rohit has announced his retirement. Jadeja is also gone from that T20 side post the World Cup. I think Kohli might be as well, if I'm not mistaken. So that
I
opens up at
think
least
so
two
as well. I
spots in
think there
there.
was some talk of the three of them. Yeah.
So I definitely think it opens up. If he doesn't even open, he might come in at four, which is still perfectly fine. The
Hmm.
problem is, does he take his chance now? We'll see. Completely different conditions to what they've played on in recent times. South African pitches, as we know, are going to be a little bit pace bowler friendly. Kingsmead is probably not the biggest challenge. Very small, 50-meter boundaries behind. It's going to be a joke, clip over the top ball and a fly. But I think when they go around the park here, when they go to St George's, when they head to Centurion, we'll actually see whether Sanju can play. And we want him to play. Look, we love him here. We've all said this before, but we'll see. There's a lot of change to the South African side. Just touching back on the previous point, but it's nice to see everyone come back now. Got Janssen back, Gerald Coetzee, David Muller, Andre
Yeah, but
Clarkson.
nice is a very not nice word, because how is it magically that it's now a big series and they're all available again?
Oh, and they're all available.
It's
Yeah, look,
that's dumb.
Look,
I don't like that.
we've spoken about it before. It's money talks at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a series that's probably most lucrative to the players. And if you look at our squad, we're not a young squad. You know what I mean? So these guys are
Yeah.
not trying to make their way, trying to make their name in world cricket. They are established players, and they know that they can get their spots in the as mercenaries in the T20 leagues across the world. So it's understandable they'll only come back for the big series. I think that works somewhat in South Africa's favor or
Yeah.
in world
I was
cricket's
thinking
favor.
along the lines.
Exactly, because there's times where if you look at back in the day when we had Amla, De Villiers, Smith, Faf, Cullis, those guys were, cemented in the team in every game. And the young guys coming through never had an opportunity. And when these guys all retired at the same time, these guys throw into the mix. That's why we went through such a long transition period since they all left. And now, the younger guys will get a taste of international cricket. Maybe it might not be against a big name, but it's still international cricket. So I think it's a catch-22, but I think it works in South Africa's favor.
I think this type of series is on exactly on what you're speaking about there. I think this type of series bridges the gap perfectly. There's a lot of players in the South African side, newer players, younger players, that are not going to get an IPL shot soon. So brilliant that they're going to come up against some pretty good IPL quality talent. Maybe not
Jimmy
the best India has to offer. Jimmy Anderson, yeah, talking about the IPL. Jimmy Anderson, 1.25 crores on the table. That'll take place 24th, 25th November, the IPL auction. It'll be interesting to see. But yeah, there's a lot in there that have destroyed senior pros. I mean, think about Abhishek's IPL season last year. It was ruthless at times. And a few others there. Like, we mustn't forget that guys like Ravi Bishnoi, if he plays or not, Varun Chakravarti, Avish Khan, Arshdeep Singh, this is a proper challenge. So even for players like Ryan Rickleton, who we've been crying about for a long time, this, I think, is the first, now you can say, okay, proper challenge. He comes up a bit unscathed, who makes a few runs in the series, I would say over 120, 130, averaging about 30 per game. It's not too bad. It's a start. And then there's a lot of shots for like Ngaba Peter, probably his first real test. If he can do well against an India side, any India side, then okay, there's a bit that we can work with. So let's see what happens.
Now, the guys need to put their hands up, so let's see how they go. I'm glad it's a 4-match series and not a 2 or 3 games, so players will get a run. If they bomb in the first or second match, they can come back. It's just going to be interesting to see what the team selection is.
Yeah, we'll chat on that right away. But the one other thing that's nice from as of the series, SABC, South African broadcasting has always been nonsense, but SABC finally agreed a deal with Cricket South Africa. So the entire 24-25 season will be broadcast to the South African public for free, essentially, which is perfect. We can finally get. We've been harping on about a lack of fan base in South African cricket for some time. Probably the best time now with the Champions Trophy coming up. We've got a bit more test cricket. Everything will be free. So if there's South African people watching this and you feel like you can't watch cricket or you don't watch enough cricket, do it. Watch as much as you can. Then pop into 3 shots and a dot and find out what we think is on. Now, the squads. Who do we think is our best 11? We'll start with us and then head to India and think about who we are likely to come up against. South Africa's best 11. Let's say up top, I'm thinking Rickleton and Riza based on... We don't want Riza, I understand, but I think Riza's going to start if he's in the squad.
I think he's going to start.
Yeah, Riza has to start. I mean, if they wouldn't pick him in the squad. I think Markram will go
3?
No, I think
Markram.
I think Markram at 3. Markram at 3.
I would play Markram at 3 myself, but based on how things work in South African cricket, maybe they've communicated and decided, he's going to be 3 in all formats. Don't think so?
No, I don't think so.
No, I don't think so.
So there you go.
I think it's going to be Markram, Klaasen, Stubbs, Muller.
100%. No,
that takes you to 6. That takes you to 6 and pretty solid.
Yeah.
Simelane, Mpongwana, 2 coming into the side. Simelane has been in the squad before. They still haven't given him a shot. Come on, why do you keep? I think it's almost like they're taking a mickey or taking a piss because you repeatedly put the guy in a squad. You play Ireland and he doesn't get a shot. What
Yeah,
do
no,
you
that's
If they
true.
play,
mean?
I will say, if they play Donovan Ferreira, then that's just a joke.
Yes.
Um,
Did we
I think
say
they
this in
will.
the?
I think they'll play Donovan Ferreira as a part-time spinner.
There's nothing to back it
it doesn't
up.
offer you, man.
I was just about to say before you brought out what's the best squad, I said this is Donovan Ferreira's last chance in my mind. Well, as a fan,
Well,
this is his last chance. He's
as
after this, I think he's done.
as fans, I think we can agree that his last chance is already passed. He's never done anything.
Yeah,
I agree.
You red carded him in the previous red card, green card,
100%.
T20s.
I'm not a fan of Donovan Ferreira, but the fact that pick him in the squad there, just if you're gonna pick him in the squad, give him another go.
I
If
don't
he
think he's gonna
fails,
play. I think they're gonna go Janssen Kruger, and then Cash,
Yes,
and then two.
we're forgetting about Kruger's been very good. I think if he misses out, he misses out. That's going to be harsh. Actually, have a decent few
Because
options in there.
he saved South Africa quite a bit in that Island
I
series.
agree.
So he's earned his shot. He's earned his
He's
shot
earned.
more than Ferreira. And then Similane, again, as much as we want him
No,
to
but at the
play,
end of the day,
he hasn't shown him.
we've got a home series, right? So we pick a squad that the guys are going to play. Like Ferreira,
Change.
like if let's say for example, if Patrick Kruger gets injured, they could easily bring Ferreira into the squad and make him play. The fact that
Yes.
Ozen Ferreira in the squad means he's going to play. That's
Yeah, I
that
can
makes
go
sense.
along those lines.
I can't disagree with you, but I wouldn't like
Mm.
it. So
Myself. But I think that's the
I
biggest
don't.
problem here.
I don't think Kruger plays. I think
so
Ferreira.
you're saying Janssen at 8.
Janssen at 8. I think obviously Ferreira starts or bets in front of Janssen.
Yeah.
Janssen at 8. Then you got Barrage at 9.
Gerald.
Then Gerald
There you
at
go.
10.
Yeah, Gerald at 10. And then, I mean, Kingsmead first, so you're probably playing another seamer, Otniel Bartman.
Oh, Neil
Probably
Bartman.
Bartman,
Yeah.
That's
I think that's most likely for the first one. What we're saying then is Rickleton.
So it's most likely going to come down to either Kruger or Ferreira. I think
Or
we agree
Ferreira.
at 10
Kruger and
up
Ferreira is your biggest.
Yeah.
That's your biggest conundrum. I think that the rest of the side picks itself. I think for Kruger and Ferreira.
Do we think that is our best 11, or just the likely 11?
I think that's our best 11, personally.
You think Donovan Ferreira over another all-rounder is best 11? I think Patrick Kruger has put his hand up enough to show me more value than Donovan Ferreira.
Okay.
Even if
That's
Milani doesn't
the
get a
point
shot.
that you make there. I would say that's the more likely 11.
Yeah, for me as well. I think it's likely. Completely agree. I think it's the best.
Listen, you wouldn't have Donovan Ferreira. Donovan Ferreira for South Africa is like a wet dream. That guy is destructive. He's unbelievable. But it's something. It's a hope and a prayer.
Okay. I'll say this. If you say this is his last shot, then it's a one-shot showdown.
Yes.
He bombs in the first match, out.
Bombs in the first match, then he must play. If he makes a mess up in the first game, then I think is his tickets for him. I mean, they've given him ample opportunities. I mean, if you look back at the opportunities they give Sanju versus the opportunities South Africa have given Donovan Ferreira.
Question. I haven't followed what he's done recently. In any of these T20 tournaments, has he put his hand up?
He plays.
He's made runs.
And the man is a player. Listen, I'm not doubting his talent and stuff. I'm talking about performing for South Africa.
Exactly. I completely agree as well. I think the problem is, the SA20, we can say, okay, there's a degree of comparison you can make here. When you bring that down to CSA T20 and you're firing there, it kind of some questions, because I think most decent cricketers will fire on that front.
We know Markram's been out of form. Do you think that this was maybe a series where we could have given him a rest and thrown the captaincy to Kesh, see what he can do? Because I personally believe Kesh is a better captain than Markram from the SA20 and watching his captaincy style. That's just my personal opinion. He puts the team first, whereas Markram sometimes he does some funny things for the glory moment. But just a question.
before I give you a response to that, this is an interesting one for me. So, if there are any Indian fans that are still watching after you've started watching this one, you tell us what you think about Aiden Markram as a captain in the comments. Because there's a lot of South Africans, and I'm not saying Kuv is part of this crew, but there's a lot of South Africans that just don't rate Aiden Markram and they don't see why other South Africans just think he's a very good cricketer. So if you're Indian and you obviously don't come with the same bias as all the politics that comes with South African cricket, tell us what you think about Aiden Markram as one, a batsman, and two, as a captain. Now, for me, to give you my input, I said this very recently, one of our previous episodes. I think Markram needs a breakaway to find his touch with the bat again, because I think he needs to work on a few things with his technique. For that reason, I would say drop and let Cash take the reins. Then you could shoehorn Donovan Ferreira and the others into that side and give him a bit of a bat if you wanted to. Fair enough. I don't think, for me personally, that he should be that Cash should be the captain because of better captaincy credentials in T20 cricket. I think Cash is a very good cricketing brain. I think he's warranted maybe in Test and ODI
No, but
cricket, but
with the
Markram
credentials,
stood
Markram
up.
owns him.
Yeah,
Markram owns him. And that's why Markram had this exponential rise as a captain. Because he won the SA20, then he did a bit of a captaincy with Sunrisers in the IPL. And then when that happened, then his under 19 World Cup record came into play. And then everybody
you
put
seem like a
everything
serial
in
winner.
one basket.
But let's
And
not
he's
talk
a
about under
brilliant
19
captain.
World Cup. The squad that he had that he took to the under 19 World Cup was unbelievable. I mean, you got KG in
Yeah.
that side, bowling 140 at 18 years old. Come on, you're gonna win like a
Did he have Pranil and Subrahman there? Wasn't Pranil and Subrahman the top wicket taker in that tournament?
Yeah, well, where's Cornelius Bryant now? So let's ask that
Busy
question.
bowling slow
Ask
left
him,
arm.
ask him if his action is legal. Ask the ICC if Cornelius Bryant's action is legal. Then we can put it in.
His jaw shouldn't be legal, but anyway, we leave that for another day.
I don't think we should drop Markram. I think from wide ball perspective, I think he's fine to play in the South African side. Yes, he might be out of form in the red ball stuff because I think he just overthinks it. And I think when you're looking to survive rather than looking to score, then you start thinking about technical things. Am I getting in line? Am I leaving correctly? Where's my off stump and all that stuff? But I think when in the white ball stuff where you gotta go for it, instincts take over and you see ball, hit ball. You know what I mean? If you nick off whatever, it doesn't happen. If you look at a white ball game, why don't they keep 4 or 5 slips? Because no one's nicking it to the fourth slip or whatever. You know what I mean?
No, I agree, but the only one issue there, Divi, is bad T20 World Cup. Runs wise, bad T20 World Cup.
Yeah,
so,
but
no, on pedigree you keep including him, but he needs to come right.
Listen, okay, fine. So who's your replacement? You drop Markram. You want to show
no,
a guy
no.
that you don't even want to have in the squad into the team.
So get from my perspective, what we should be doing is putting the batsman that you're probably going to include as a backup in and around that Champions Trophy squad to replace Markram, and then give Markram time off to figure things out for a bit. Then bring him straight back in. When he comes back in, he goes straight back into his slot. It's not a whoever's coming in is auditioning to be the best of the rest, so that if and when they're needed.
Fair enough. No, I agree with that. But who is that player? Who is that player? So
I think there's enough options.
Timber on the side.
No. We're talking about white ball cricket. I think you're gonna hosh off Timber. You're gonna say
and you got Brent. That's probably your 2 options.
And personally, you don't lose Dezorzi, because I definitely think he can hold. He's a left-hander, which shakes that thing up a bit. But then if you've got right-handed Klaasen and Stubbs around it, I think fair enough, you can bat Dezorzi at 3. I don't see how that's a problem. He didn't go well in the SA20. That is the one issue.
That's it. Exactly. But Markram's got the pedigree, right?
It comes down to exposure. And I think if you're going to... We spoke about this multi-format player for quite some time here. If you're going to include Dezorzi into the ODI side, and you feel like he's not going hard enough in T20 cricket, give him more T20 exposure. See if he can bridge the gap. And then you've got another proper one. Then you've got 3 or 4 now that are all format players. Yeah. I don't think that does
as much as we can debate it till the flippin' sun comes out. but we know he's going to play. Let's hope that this is a turning point in his form and he has a brilliant series. So I think that's what it's going to come
I
down.
agree he's going to play. On the backside of that, I disagree that with you guys where he must get dropped, but I agree with you where the captaincy must be moved. I think Cash is.
He'll do better without the captaincy.
100%. I think he'll do better.
I think so.
I 100% think he'll do better.
I think so. Like
It's
even
less
through that
pressure.
World Cup, I
Think
wasn't
about-
convinced by his captaincy, man. In that group stage, there were so many games that teams got back into it purely because of his captaincy and the bowling decisions he was making. I just don't think he does the smart thing at times.
100%.
Kesh has a far better cricketing brain.
Yeah. No, 100%.
And
I agree, 100%.
if Kesh does well in a T20, then maybe you can give him the Test captaincy as well, and then remove all separate captains and all of this.
And if,
The
if
problem-
you think about it
problem is-
logically, Kesh is one of the few players whose selection is not under fire
Yes.
across all three formats. If you're going to play the similar players across all three formats, you need one captain. That's it.
Yeah.
We're not
I
picking
can
a
agree with that,
T20
but
side, we're not picking a one-day side, we're not picking a test side individually. It seems like we're going to have similar players across all three formats.
the only issue for me with making Cash captain, really the only issue is his age. Because whilst we did say that he can
He says he's a
probably
breeder. Is that what he said?
no, I said his age. His
Oh.
age.
Oh.
So the problem is, whilst we did say that he could probably go for a few more years, it is a bit short-sighted. You surely want to have a captain.
I don't think so.
I don't
think so.
2 years of T20 cricket, or I mean ODI cricket. You think he'll get bored?
I don't think so. If he can do a good job and stabilize the ship, we've been in this building process for like 10 years. How many captains have we had? How fast have they been changing? None of them have done a job. We have faith that he can do a job.
Do you think Cash can captain for the next 5 years?
Why
At
not?
35.
Listen, he's a spinner. He's not there.
I agree. He's a
Cash
spinner.
is not a player that he's there for his athleticism in the field, his power hitting.
Yeah.
He's there for running up and bowling left arm off spin. Huh? And his biggest test.
And he channels Hanuman, so
you know what I mean? Yeah, exactly.
He's got a one up. Jai Shri
Yeah.
Ram.
So
Almost definitely.
And for him, it looks like he's been working on his fitness. I mean, he's a skinny dude. He's running around, whatever.
He's not carrying weight.
Even if you have to give up something in the field, where's going to feel? Mid off most of the time.
Yeah,
He's got good hands, so
he does
something. It's not going to be in the slips for you, but I mean, he's someone you can hide in the field.
And the one thing we know his batting is shit at the moment in the Test arena, but he doesn't for what he's in the team for his bowling ability. Like Divi is saying, there's nothing he needs to work on.
Correct.
He knows his own game inside out.
Yeah, it's brilliant how well
he will just focus on the captaincy and do what he's been doing for many years on the bowling front. Nothing will change there.
Right. It's
much easier. Like in general, bowling captains are better because they're not under fire for their batting performances. You get what I'm saying? Like
in that sense, yeah. But you also have bowling captains like Pollock, which
leave Sean out of it. But I mean,
leave Sean out of
national treasure. Let's not go in 2 foot.
No, I agree.
Yeah.
But
like Pat Cummins, he's doing well now.
100%. And
there's keepers as well. Most of the other countries, their captains are keepers. When you go Joss Butler and
I think it just comes down to
Dhoni
cricketing
and
brain, and I think we can agree that Kesh has a good cricketing brain.
Yeah,
there obviously will always be questions around it, but it is what it is.
I think having a bowler captain is way better than having a batting captain, because as a bowler, I mean, where does the captaincy nuance come into more sort of light? Is more when you field it. When you're batting, what differences? I mean, what differences? That's more important is the captain that understands. You know, as a batsman, the bowler just says whatever he wants, and you're like, okay, fine, I don't understand what he's talking about. Fine, we'll go. Yeah, if you have like a bowling captain, the guy can have input and whatever. When you're a batting captain, all you have to worry about is the batting lineup, and
Pretty
that
much.
sort of selects itself. So I reckon Kirsch is captain, Markram batted 3 across all formats, and I think you'll see that South African side settle down a bit. I mean, from a test perspective, you don't really want to be 5-for-1 in the first 3 overs, and that's essentially what's
What's
happening.
been happening. Okay, but we digress and we digress a lot. You're always going to get involved in something of the sort when Eden Markram comes in the picture. Nonetheless, let us know what you think in the comments. Now, the India team, as we you would have seen on screen, in the little banner at the bottom. What do we think? Who are their best 11? I'm going to kick it off with saying Abhishek Sharma and probably Sanju open the batting. In at 3, then? You think Sky goes up to 3?
Yeah,
I think that's too. You think so? I think that's too early.
I think Sky belongs at 4 or 5.
Yeah, that's 4.
Personally.
But looking at that squad, who bats at 3 then?
That's the problem. You can't even pop a Jitesh Sharma in there. That's
Or Tilak Varma, he's not a 3.
No,
Tilak Varma has batted quite hard.
I don't think he's gonna play, but
no, I think he'll actually get a game. Me personally, I think he's gonna get a game. I think they're gonna rotate.
Varma must play. He must play. You bet probably.
Yeah, I think based on how much cricket he's played in the A ranks and domestically for India recently, I think he definitely starts. For me, it's a question about whether you go 3 with him and Sky at 4, vice versa. Because Hardik probably comes in at 5 or 6. You got a bunch of all-rounders there. You can play Akshay Patel, Ramandeep Singh will probably come in below Hardik.
He's gonna play. Rinku is gonna play. So where are they gonna bet? I don't think Varma
They go to
gets a game.
7. They go to 7.
Nah.
So what are you saying?
Wait,
they're
let's
gonna play
go.
5 bowlers?
Wait. So we're saying Abhishek, Sanju,
Yeah.
Varma, Sky.
Yeah, that's
Hardik.
4. Yeah,
Hardik.
5.
Aksha, and then Rinku.
6, 7.
I think Rinku bats above Aksha.
Yeah, no, we just started batsmen.
You played those 8 batsmen.
If you're starting Sanju and he's opening, he's your keeper. You don't need to play Jitesh.
You think Ramandeep gets a game?
So they probably rather go with the alternate batsman in Tilak Varma than bat 4 all-rounders or 3 all-rounders.
Yeah,
I don't see, unless they decide to do something wacky.
Okay,
Ramandeep
the easiest way to figure it out is pick the bowler. Pick your 5 bowlers.
So Hardik is 1, right? He's in that side, right?
Arshdeep.
So yeah, that's 2.
Definitely bowls.
Yeah. Aksha.
Now the spinner.
Aksha will bowl.
3.
Yeah.
We go.
I think they'll play Yash Dayal.
Yeah.
Yash Dayal over Avesh Khan. I think Yash Dayal doesn't have the international experience, so maybe on that ground they definitely go in.
Nah, they're gonna pick him because he got retained by RCB. You know, Indian cricket is all about the narrative.
It's a popularity contest.
It's because he got retained, they're gonna play him.
And then they either go the extra spinner or an extra batsman at that point.
Yeah, they've got so many options, man. Whichever way you spin it, it's gonna be a good team.
No, but that being said, it's gonna be a mixed match. Well, it's gonna be a bits and pieces team. It's not gonna be.
Okay, let's think from the perspective of it's gonna be Kingsmead, and if they put a South African cap on, who they gonna play?
Seamers, Deluxe, I reckon.
Seamers, Deluxe, play 1 spinner.
Okay.
1.
But then on the batting lineup, so in both of you guys, if you say Sky bats at 4, so who's batting at 3?
I go Tilak.
I think Varma has to bat.
He's too good to not be playing. They've earmarked that kid as a big part of their future. He's genuinely good.
No,
I think he's excellent.
Wait, hold up. We are neglecting a very big thing here. Okay, no, we're not. So Sanju's keeping.
Yes, Sanju's keeping.
Yeah, Sanju has to.
Jitesh Sharma is there as a backup. We don't care about it. Abhishek probably gives them 2 overs if they need a bit more spins. They play 1 spinner and that spinner can bat, right? Akshay Patel. Varun Chakravarti is in the squad. He probably bowls at St. George's. I don't think so at Kingsmead.
Oh, look.
So then they can go three seamers. They can go Yash Dayal, Avesh Khan, and Arshdeep. Hardik will be the fourth. Enough. They got bowling after. If they really wanted to, they could play Ramandeep and ask him to bowl a bit of medium fast. But I don't think they're going to play him for his bowling.
You don't need more than four. You don't need more than four seamers.
Yeah.
Because you must remember, like in the last series, so Tilak didn't play because Ryan Parag played it. Now he's injured.
Yes.
So that's the only reason that he's back.
Yeah.
So that's the one option. And then who else was the other injured player? Was it Mayank Yadav?
Mayank Yadav pulled out, also with their Centre of Excellence for injury rehab. There's one more. There's one more that was recently injured. It's off my mind now, but I saw the BCCI statement on the same thing. The thing is, based on that squad, unless they plan on playing Rinku at 3 or Rinku at 4 and Surya at 3, I don't see how they could go around. And I think you waste Rinku that high up the order. I think you bring him a little bit lower. You give him 30 balls to make 60 runs. That's the plan. So yeah, I think the only one, unless you bat Sanju at 3, that changes the whole game. But I don't think that's what they're gonna do. Because Sanju, for me, Sanju and Tilak, and to an extent Sky, are the only players in that team that should ever be batting 3. The rest are not the type.
Another question.
Yeah.
My famous question. Why is Hardik not the captain?
This has been all over the recent debates because, of course, IPL captain is captaining Rohit and Sky in that Mumbai team, but Sky is captaining him in the T20 team. Rohit is captaining him in the ODI team. Yeah, I don't know. It's a bunch of nonsense. I think we can agree. Hardik is not a great captain.
Indian cricket is a lot of
I'm a Mumbai Indians fan. I watch Hardik start his career. I don't think he's a great captain. It is what it is.
I think.
I don't think. To be fair though, I don't think Sky is a great captain either though. So
me neither. So
I think in that side.
So out of that squad, who do you guys think?
I would have captained Sanju. Why not captain Sanju? Sanju plays for the team. We'll go back. Kums isn't here today, but we'll go to Kums' thing about selfless players that put the team ahead of themselves. Sanju bats when he needs to. He brings himself in based on the match situation. He goes hard if they need to chase a big score or get a fast start. Yeah, Sky is going to come in. They're 23 for 3. He's going to try and ramp you over the keeper's head. And then you're like, Captain, what's going on?
So is Sky now the captain moving forward, or is it just for like these couple of series?
It's for the series.
So who's the captain?
It's because they've sent us to Tata, Rohit Sharma. When he comes back, he's captain. That is what it is.
He's out of the 20s.
He's retired. Yeah, okay. In the ODIs, Rohit will be captain. In the T20 side, you actually have a very good question because if Kohli and Rohit aren't there,
wasn't Jasprit Bumrah the vice captain?
He was, but I don't think they persist with it if they bring other players into the team. Who, realistically, right, you guys, obviously, as Indian fans, if you're watching this, naturally, you have more inside information than we do. We don't watch the DY Patil Trophy and Ranji Trophy regularly and everything else that comes with it, Duleep Trophy. You know best as to who is most deserving, whether it's from the Mumbai T20s or whatever. Who's going to come in at 3, 4, 5? What's that order going to look like? Let us know in the comments who you think the future Indian T20 captain is. Because there's a few in and around that could possibly captain. I think Sanju is definitely a shout.
Yeah, because I'm also just thinking, KL. Like, if we move into a T20 tournament down the line and Sky is the captain, as an opposition player...
Ooh, you're not worried at all.
Okay, yeah, that's fine.
You're not worried at all.
I mean, I've never seen this guy captain in the IPL. What does he know about captaining? So...
As a batsman, Surya is lethal, explosive. He can dominate. But as a captain, yeah, we're playing a different game.
Yeah, good point. But I think with Surya under pressure, I mean, we saw that catch against David Malay in the World Cup final. That guy,
yeah, but the guy is class.
The guy is class. I don't think he's not going to buckle under any pressure.
No, it's not the pressure though. It's the process. Yeah.
Sort of prowess.
It's the same. It goes back to your same argument about having a bowler as captain.
The thing is,
We
why
need someone with a good last.
the reservation that I have is at franchise level and any other level, we've never seen him as a captain.
Yes.
So, as with any job, you need experience to excel. What captaincy experience does he have in certain match and game situations?
We'll find
If
out.
you are if you are
Harder.
150 for 2 after 15 overs, how are you going to pull it back in the last 5?
Okay, so
Does he have answers? I don't know. Maybe he does.
my Indians, you got Rohit there, and you got Surya there, and you choose Hardik. Do you think that is a directive from the BCCI to the franchise team telling them, listen, this is who we want going forward, or not? What, you know, because
Could
if
quite
it is a
Yeah,
directive, we should have
that
made
changes
it
the whole
happen.
game.
Yeah.
That changes the whole game because I think rightly so. It
So
did seem.
are you saying BCCI is intentionally causing these debates
Yes,
by
because
having 2 separate captains?
No, but
I'm thinking from, if you look at from like an NBA perspective, right?
yes,
The NBA wanted Michael Jordan to, back in the day in the early 90s or whatever, to be the face of the NBA. They wanted him to do that. And then when the Pistons started winning and all that shit instead of the Bulls, they fucking annoyed them. And then obviously I think, I don't want to say this, but maybe they sort of pushed officials to give the Bulls better calls and all this sort of stuff to make Michael Jordan the face of the they sort of pushed it to that they would win the NBA championship. So my question is, are they sort of pushing it? Are they setting up Surya to fail in this South African tour so that they know, okay, Hardik is our man?
yeah, that's a good question. That's because look, I was
Because it
gonna
doesn't
say,
give him the best team. I mean, you know what I mean? I mean, there's better players that they could have
yeah,
picked.
but the only thing that I was let me actually start where I was gonna start. In the IPL recently, there's been a push to have more Indian captains, switch away from all the Warners and that kind of thing. Kudos to them. Young Indian captains, Shreyas Iyer and all of these. It's worked pretty well. I think we were speaking about it earlier. I think maybe Shreyas and Rishabh Pant come back into the side when they're talking long-term top order. Anything could happen. Pant's definitely not a captain, but maybe a Shreyas becomes one. The next point then is that with the Hardik thing, it could be that they actually have a plan to make him captain. I don't see why, but definitely could be. And then the last thing is, I don't think they're entirely setting Surya up to fail for that reason. If they are setting him up to fail, it's probably for a different reason. They've got drubbed under Gautam Gambu Gambhir. Things have been going south, and souther. The
Yeah.
big boys are now looking like clowns. I mean, there's been so many calls, as we said, and as you, the viewer, will see very soon. We had a little chat that unfortunately we couldn't put up yet. We'll put it up sometime in a couple of days of what's been going on with Kohli and Rohit and all their bad performances. You probably need to distract from that a little bit, or otherwise there's absolute havoc. Now, I think we're not going to delve into that debate because realistically we spoke about it quite a lot, and we'll get back to it when we speak about the review. We've gone for quite a bit here. I'm going to leave the last question with the Indian fans. What do you think is going to happen in the series? You think you're going to smack us with a second team, third team, something like that? You boys, predictions. I'm going to say South Africa win the series 3-1.
I'm going to be
I agree with
conservative.
that.
I'm going to say 2-2.
No, I reckon 4-0 South Africa.
Divi being brave, Kuv going conservative, me just being a bit optimistic, and that's where we have it. 2 for the win, 1 for the draw. Let's hope that this is a fantastic series. Now, I don't have a shot
Do you
on
think we're
me.
going to get all 4 games? Because the weather's been
Up and down
very,
across the
very
country, I
temperamental.
agree. There has been up and down across the country. We're going to hope that we get at least enough overs to call all 4 matches games. I think we should. Provided it doesn't absolutely pour. Gqeberha might be the biggest problem. Today I'm in Bloemfontein, but I was there, and it was absolutely gunning. It gunned for about 2 hours, but it would have been enough to call a game off because of how heavy it rained.
Just before
Let's
we
hope that doesn't
started
happen.
now, it was pissing, but
Yeah,
just for like 45 minutes or so.
let's hope. But there is that. If you are new around these parts and you like this chat, drop us a like, hit the subscribe button. You can follow us on all the audio platforms. There'll be links in the description. There's a lot of other cricket content on this channel, some drafts and tier lists and that sort of thing. And of course, the cricket show.
Go check Kum's failing.
Combs, who isn't here today, you can check him failing in the draft. And then there's a lot of cricket games in the cricket show where we play some quiz games. See if you can tag along and see how good you can go. But anyway, don't forget to pour a shot. Cheers and take care.